What's up, everybody? Rob Ferretti here, self-proclaimed rental car expert, and today I'm going to tell you how to protect yourself when renting any car, not just an exotic car, but any car from potential charges from a rental car company. First thing you want to do is rental car companies love to charge you for insurance. It's one of those things that they have so many people, odds are nothing's going to happen, so it's a profit center for them. And a lot of times, especially with the low-end rental cars, you're going to notice that the insurance cost is almost as much, if not more, than the rental car cost for the day. So to keep that cost mitigated, if you have personal insurance, you can keep it on your personal insurance. There's no, like, if you're going to cover yourself driving down the road in your car, what's to make any higher risk or anything go wrong on a rental car that wouldn't have naturally gone wrong if you were driving your own car? So just because it's somebody else's car shouldn't add more and more cost. You're already paying for insurance for your car that's sitting in your driveway. You might as well have it cover you where you are. So that's the one thing. If you also want to have an extra layer of protection for whatever reason, because it's not your car, or you're not positive you're going to be covered if something happens, you can go. American Express has a very good rental car coverage program, which is premium car rental protection. There's other cards that also offer car rental protection. Go with that. It's usually zero deductible, and it's a good coverage to have that gets, it's one layer of protection in between you, then the rental car coverage on your credit card, then your personal insurance before anything happens, and you've got multiple layers of protection there. That's one place to save money. When you actually get to the car, now this is something that you want to do. You're going to choose your car, you go out. Everybody's got a smartphone. If you don't have a smartphone, why are you even watching this glowing thing in front of you and seeing me in front? You don't know, you don't understand, mind blown, you're not renting cars anyway. Everybody has a smartphone. Take your smartphone, go around the car and take photos of it. And make sure it's identifiable where you're taking the photos. And take 15, 20 photos. You get every inch of that car with 15 or 20 photos. You go around the car, take photos all around the car of the wheels, of underneath the front bumper. Just so, even though it's usually, and this will come more into play in an exotic car rental than it will in a standard car rental, they're more expensive to fix. Hertz, Avis, Budget, all those guys will usually give you something the size of a golf ball or a scratch no bigger than whatever they're okay with. Exotic car rental companies or luxury car rental companies are not the same. They will charge you for any damage, and the big hidden thing is the loss of use. We'll get into that in a second. Cover yourself by making sure you walk around the car. If there's anything that's not listed, just have them mark it down. You're supposed to do a walkthrough getting any car, except for Toro. I don't know about Toro. Toro's a foreign entity to me. But walk around the car, mark any damage, and just take photos all around. At Gotham Dream Cars, what I do, I have the policy that if I can't show you that you damaged the car in photos, I'm not gonna bill you for it. I don't want you to feel like we're trying to beat you up on damage. So it's our job and it's our employees' job to walk around the car, take photos of the damage, and prove it was either there or not there. Now, keep in mind, you're responsible for a car when you take it, whether it's the valet, whether a deer jumps out in front of you, if a tree falls on it while it's parked in your driveway. That's not the rental car company's concern. It's your concern to return that car in the same condition you got it. So the thing you want to do is you want to document it all the way around, and that'll cover you if they do say, hey, buddy, you owe us, we noticed that you scratched this, damaged this. You could say, well, if you look in the pictures here, I understand it was, and this is the same for auto transport as well. If you look in the pictures here, you'll notice that you didn't mark it on the contract, but I see this, and this is why it's important when you take these photos to make sure you can identify the location where the photos are being taken as the Hertz location or wherever you're getting a car. I'm not picking on Hertz or anything like that, but just make the location where you're taking the photographs identifiable. Take before photos, take after photos. If there is a check-in process, make sure that you walk around and get a signed slip noting that it's clean, noting that the mileage is correct, and you're covered. Now, last thing you want to worry about, a lot of rental car companies will go after you for loss of use if you do damage the car. That's their right to do. Don't feel like they're trying to beat you up or anything like that. If you damage a car and it's down for repairs, that's on you or your insurance company. That's why it's important to have insurance. It's not cheap to damage somebody else's property, something you want to make sure you're protected for. And then that's either, if you really have to and you don't have insurance, get the collision damage waiver. If you live in a city like New York or any of these other cities where it's reasonable that you wouldn't have a car, you can get something called a non-owner's policy. That non-owner's policy will cover you when you're driving a third-party vehicle or somebody else's vehicle, a non-owned auto. If you're traveling international, there's also companies out there that'll help you and they'll sell you insurance. at the end of the day, make sure if a rental company is selling you insurance that you actually get the printout of what they're selling you, because a lot of the times, especially with exotic car rental companies, I see this happening. They don't really have an insurance policy to sell it to you. They'll sell it to you anyway, and then when something happens, they're like, well, if you read the fine print, it says if you do anything negligent, you're not covered, and since you crashed the car, we deem that negligent. And then they sue you, and it's a big headache, and it's a lot of after the fact that you're not thinking, oh, well, you were at a bar, you were out to dinner, you had a drink at dinner. Whatever the situation would be, nobody ever wants to cover the accident. So everyone looks to find a way. And we've even had people that have rented cars damage them, and their insurance denied the claim because they looked into the renter, and having nothing to do with the rental, but said like, hey, you have your insurance through your parents' house. You don't live at your parents' house. You live over here. You're not covered under their policy. You shouldn't have that address. You should have your own insurance policy here. All stuff to keep in mind. I mean, people love to save money on insurance, but at the end of the day, it's a much smarter play to make sure you're covered. So keep that in mind. You never want to write the loss of use check. It's a business's entitlement. Like if you remove their asset and they can't use that asset to make money or whatever value they would get out of that asset, it falls on the guy who damaged it. You don't want to be that guy. There's some tips. Protect yourself. Make sure you have a good rental car experience, whether you're renting a Kia or a Koenigsegg. That was cool. Those 2K cars. Or like the Aries K, but they stopped renting that in the 80s. Catch you next time. Drive safe out there. Hopefully your rental experience goes smooth. And if it does go smooth and it's a result of my video, buy somebody a drink. Pay it forward. Talk to you next time.